Um, okay, welcome everybody to the Azure AI Show. This evening we have a new MVP with us. That's Teresa Cyrus in the US. Congratulations
Congratulations.
again, Teresa. And
Thank
we have
you.
Seena Khan in Bahrain, and Seena's going to do some Power Automate. And we have Stephen in the UK, and Stephen is going to do some stuff there with us as well. So, Teresa, off you go. Share your screen.
Okay.
Okay.
You see my screen? There it
Yeah,
is.
there you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Hi, my name is Teresa Cyrus. I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I am now a 2-day-old MVP for Microsoft Services and Apps. And today I just want to showcase just like one focus feature in the Microsoft To Do. I know that a lot of people are still utilizing utilizing the Microsoft Classic Outlook Classic version, and we do have the To Do app here in the left navigation, but they're still using the Classic Task Manager. So I wanted to show you that you can now create groups in the To Do app. So I'm just going to navigate to the To Do. And notice here that I have some groups here that I created earlier. Microsoft To Do is really good keeping track of your work and school tasks as well as your personal tasks. And I had several people on tech community asking, hey, I have a team that I manage, and I give each one of them I give them a task that I want to share it with them. So that's one. I want to be able to share just that task list with that individual. And how can I group it so it's in some type of organized manner? And so down here at the bottom, you can create a group. This little icon here. Did it pop up? Give it a group and name. So I'm going to say MC MCT. So I create that group. Now, I may have multiple students in that Microsoft certified training. I'm just going to make this easy. Just say student number one. I create a list. I'm going to create another student number two and create a list. Now, what's nice is now I can drag that student up under MCT, right? And I drag this person as well. And so to give them access, I'm just going to share that list, create an invitation link. And when I send them that link, they will have access to that task list. So I won't, if you needed to create a task, create instructional video. It's really, this is fairly new. I was excited to see this actually in the application, the To Do application. I'm going to click this over to New Outlook. Okay, just to bring this over. And To Do. So I believe that here now, if I want to look at those tasks from Outlook, I can do that. You don't have the pleasure to do that in the classic, but if you are in the new Outlook, that now I can look at those tasks while I'm in Outlook. So new feature, I just wanted to showcase that and just open up if you guys have any questions. Do you use, the to-do app? What is it that you use to keep track of your personal work or school tasks? What do you use, Frank? I can't hear you.
Yeah, I just use my calendar in Outlook.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know that you can also drag a task over to your calendar or to the task as well. So if especially it won't create it as a task, it'll actually put an appointment on your calendar so you can reserve time, and you can do that. And when you do that, the email comes with it as well.
Okay, cool.
All right. Well, that's all I have. Again, I just wanted to quickly show that new feature in Microsoft To Do.
Okay, very good, Teresa.
Yeah, good. That's fine.
Nice.
I was just messaging Dan there, and because we're on Restream now, the resolution for the presentations, you'll have to adjust your resolution to 1280 by 720
Okay, 1280.
by 720.
Okay.
So Seena, can you do that for your presentation?
Yeah, I'm going to share the screen once again. Let me check that.
Just trying to. There you go.
Okay, 1 second now. Here's Dan. Welcome,
Hey.
Dan.
How are you? Seena might have gotten kicked out with screen resolution change or something.
Yeah. So we're just waiting on Seena Khan there, and Dan, our new MVP, is just after doing the.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw.
Yes, Teresa, we're live now, so you can show everybody your coffee mug you got this morning.
Oh, cool.
This is what I woke up to.
That's awesome.
Well deserved, Teresa.
Seena's, I think, sitting in the behind the scenes. Frank.
I can't. Can you see her there then, or?
I'm logged in as another account, so
okay.
I don't have like the.
Yeah, I'm logged in as your account, so
Yeah.
I can't see her.
She's not on the left-hand side.
No, I'm wait a while now. Scroll down. Yeah, Timid Dio is there.
Cool.
There's Seena. Yeah. There you go, Seena.
Thank you. Yeah.
Timothy is there as well. So, do you want to share your screen? So, Seena.
Yeah. I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
I don't know if a window makes a difference, like if you had a higher resolution and you share a window versus your entire screen, but we could certainly play around with that. And everybody's got the
so is my
ability
screen
to use
visible?
this.
1 second now. There we
So
go.
was my screen real fuzzy?
It was a little fuzzy.
Yeah. There you go now, Seena.
Seena's, yours is looking pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, it is visible now, right?
Yep.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
Okay. So this session, I'm going to talk about Microsoft Power Automate flows. That is the workflows. So workflows, I have already given some demos related to workflows. So here, by using Copilot feature, how we can create automatic flows. So here, in this example, the scenarios what I have chosen is, I'm having a SharePoint list already. So here, this is the SharePoint list I'm having, and it is employee list. And these are the columns: title, employee name, designation, department, salary. So when I add, or any user going to add one more record, or that means a new employee details, so I will get a notification through my email that one more recorded or one more item. So this is what I'm going to demonstrate today. So let's go. So firstly, you have to log in into the Power Automate, or else you can go for the Power Apps and then select the flows and then click on plus new flow over here, and then select describe it to design it preview. So here you can select, okay, what you're going to do with it. Like, okay, you have to give an appropriate prompt for it. So notify me when an item is created in a SharePoint list. So this is what I'm going to create. So it is, there is a trigger, the flow starts when this happens, and the actions, okay, get my profile. So it will take my profile from Office 365 users, and then it will send an email, okay, after adding it. So let's go for it. Click on next, and review your connected apps, and also SharePoint is connected, Office 365 is connected, and Office 365 Outlook is connected. Create flow. So it has been created over here. Now I have to add the values over here. So what are the, this is the flow. So when an item is created, this is for the SharePoint list, and which is connected. You can see over here the connection, and this is the credentials that I'm having for SharePoint, and get my profile again. Okay, so it is connected. This is for the Office 365 users, and this is for the email where I have to send. Now, when an item is created, and here we have to provide the site address of the SharePoint list. So here it is. I can copy over from over here. Then just click over this drop down list and take the enter custom value. So in that section, just paste it, whatever you have copied the SharePoint. Then go over here, and the employee list, the name of my list is employee list over here. So this is listed over here. I have selected the employee list. Then going to get my profile. So here I don't need to add anything, so it will automatically take my profile, and then send an email. So where I have to send, in which email. So here I am suggesting my email ID. So Seena Khan, and the subject, which is, we can provide like, okay, so these are the multiple options, okay, we can select. Otherwise you just type text as well, like as and subject. So here I'm typing like new item added, and then in the body, so here I can add like a new employee details added to the SharePoint list. That's it. So finish. Now here you can provide the name of this flow, like SharePoint list flow, or whatever name you can provide. So I have given a name, and then click on save. So now my flow is ready. So everything is added and there is no errors at all. Okay, if there is any errors, it will show over here in a red dot. So there is no errors. Then we can go for testing it. So just click on the test. It will take a bit time. So here is my SharePoint list flow, and that's it. So here it is, and then I'm clicking on test. So manually I'm going to test it. I didn't attach it with any Power Apps or any apps. So I'm manually going to test this flow. So just click on manually and then test it. Okay, so now it is executing now. So now I'm going to add a new record to this employee list. So here, is employee name, Teresa, designation, solution architect.
Seems like Teresa just, or Seena froze. We give her a minute there and see will it refresh. Teresa, it looks like you got promoted to a solutions architect.
Say that again.
I see you got promoted there to a solutions architect by Seena.
How much? How
Better
much?
demo.
I will love that salary.
Yeah.
I was gonna just go ahead and say next Friday, Dan and I actually going to be at Florida at CollabCon, and our topic is on how to become a MVP and master public speaking. So that's going to be exciting. Just wanted to put that plug out there. Dan has been doing really good promoting with all his little TikTok videos out there.
I need to take a picture of the pile of swag I have for next Friday. It's getting bigger every day that I find stuff.
Okay. I think
So if anybody is watching, I do believe it's virtual as well as in person. So make sure I have to take this call.
Sure.
Okay.
There's Seena.
Yeah, Seena, you're back again with us. I don't know what happened. Can you share your screen again with us?
Sorry guys, my connection lost.
No
No,
problem.
you're fine.
Let me
Okay.
share my screen.
Yeah. Do that.
Okay, where we are. So we were testing the flow which I have created. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, I got it there now. 1 second. Here you go.
Yep, it's up now.
Yep.
There you go.
So now it's ready. So I'm going to test it. Going to test it manually. Paste. Okay, now I'm going to add the list, one record. Then department IT and salary $1,000. So I'm not going to add any attachments over here. Just save. So it's saved now here. So all these three tick marks you can see over here. That means the flow successfully run. Now I can see my notification in my email. New item added. Okay, this is the subject I have given in the flow, and this is the body. And new employee details added to the SharePoint list. So this is what today's demonstration from my side. Any doubts on this?
That's awesome. So it can either be Microsoft or you can reach out with Flow to or Power Automate to other stuff, right?
Yeah.
Other technologies. Cool.
Okay. So, Seena, you know the way you put in the users, could you use that, we'd say, if you had a team of technicians and you were giving them tasks, we say 4 or 5 tasks every week, and you were putting in a score for them, could you do something like that with flows?
Frank, is that your desktop?
Sorry.
No, no. No.
It should be on your right or left, sorry, to control.
Is
There we go.
no, it's that was Teresa's screen.
Oh, okay.
Maybe the connection
that was-
is losing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in between. I am going out and coming in.
Okay.
I don't know where Restream's data centers are either, where they send this signal to like put out to other places. So there might be some technical differences between where Restream services from versus StreamYard as well.
So, Stephen, do you want to share your screen with us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, just spare me a second. So,
Okay, I see it there. I know that's
just
Teresa's
spare
one
me
again.
seconds. Yeah.
1 second now. Hmm. This Teresa's screen again. Have you shared your screen with us, Stephen?
I think you just lost a connection.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can share my screen, and let's just make sure it comes up. Does that come up, Frank?
I got Stephen's
You see
one
mine?
there. 1 second. I can see
Okay.
your one. Yeah, we have Stephen.
If you got Steven's,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. Okay, Stephen, we have your screen there. Gone again. Hmm. The restream isn't behaving today. Okay.
Can you see my screen now?
Yep.
There we go. And it's nice and clear, so we can see it good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.
It just went away again.
Gone again.
Okay, I think you should be able to see it now.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Virtual machine.
Okay. Yeah. So can you see my screen now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very good.
Okay. So what I just want to show today, I just want to show like how to detect if a user, probably like if you have your help desk and you give them access to the Active Directory and a particular user deleted the user, so and you want to carry out an audit to know who deleted that particular user, so you can see in Active Directory who actually deleted that user from the help desk team. So that's also I want to show you that this is my active. Okay, let me open my Active Directory and just create a user. Okay. Yep, this is my Active Directory. Now I'm going to create a user and then we'll delete that user. Come up here. Let me just create a user. Okay, so I'm going to create this user and then we'll see how we can delete it and we'll see who actually deleted this particular user from the Active Directory. Move this, next, finish. Okay, so this is the user. And out of this, I'm going to be logging to a particular user, which is this particular user here. So this user is our help desk. This Sunday is our help desk. He has access to, he can delete user, he can add user. They have just like a help desk. When you give your help desk access to your user in Active Directory. And now we want to know if truly he is the one that deleted this particular user. Now I'm going to log into my Windows machine that is joined to the domain. This is the Windows machine here. So let me just close this. So you see, let me close this. I'm going to close. Let me log out. So this is the user here I'm logging to. But let me just log out of the user and then log in back again so you can see, sign out. Okay, so I'm going to sign in with this user. Uh, password, enter. Now, then after that, here, this user, they have access to Active Directory, which actually have installed in the RSET tools. What you need to install the RSET tools here before they can have access to Active Directory, because we don't want to give them access to the whole platform, the whole server platform. So what you need to do is to install your RSET tools. So once you do that, which I've actually run that, I run that with the script. So I can put the script on the chat box. So here I will just come up here, open my Active Directory. Remember, this is just my Windows machine, but it is joined to the domain. Let me show you. If you come here, you can see that this Windows is joined to the domain. Can you see? So now I'm logging as this user. This user has access to all of our users. So now this is the user I created, this user. Now I'm going to delete this user. Come up here, delete, click on yes. Now, who performed that deletion of this user is this particular person. But we are just assuming that we don't know, and we are looking for the where is John? Who deleted John? And we can't find John any longer our our OU. So we need to do an audit and see who actually deleted that particular user. So here I'll go to my Active Directory. Now, if you come up here, you can see the user is no longer there. The user has been deleted. Now, we want to know who deleted this user. You come up here and open your event viewer. Open your event viewer. When you open the event viewer, you come up here, you have your Windows log. Under Windows log, you click on the security. Click on security. When you click on this security, then you come up here, you click on filter current log. Filter current log. Click on it, and then you come up here where you have all event IDs. So I'm going to type 474726 and say okay. Now, if you come here now, if you now double click here, you will see that a user account was deleted. Who deleted it? Can you see it now? Sunday. You can see it's telling us Sunday actually was deleted that user. What is that user account name? John Mary. So we can see that it is Sunday that actually deleted that particular user account. So this is how you can also do an audit. I came across this when actually in at work we are just kind of we are just discussing. I mean, we're having a discussion, and we're just like, oh, at times when you call users don't pick up their call. When you call them at times, they don't pick up their call, and the ticket is just left there open. So somebody just now said that, okay, why don't you just disable their account and allow them come to the office? When they can't log in, they will definitely come into the office. I would say, no, it's not actually possible. It's not good. That it's not a good practice. So we're just making gestures. So we're not saying that, okay, what if someone deleted the user account? How can you know? Is it possible to know? I say, yeah, it's possible to track it. And I actually made my own research, and I saw that yes, it's actually possible to track whoever deleted a user in our OU account. So you can see here that this particular user, Sunday, actually deleted this user. And remember, before now, I've actually set up I've set up like the RSET tools already. I've installed the RSET tools and everything, because if you don't set it up, you can, because we are not giving them access to the whole Active Directory. We only give them access to just some portion of the Active Directory. So this user, Sunday, has been given that access to be able to carry out, create user account, security group, delete user, reset password. But now we just want to know who actually deleted this particular user. And with this, we are able to see that Sunday actually deleted that particular user. Yeah, so that's just all for today for me. Yeah.
Very good. And that user then, Stephen, he would have administrator's rights so that he
Yeah.
could, and could he have the rights then to clear the logs so you couldn't see who done it?
No, he can't. He doesn't have the right to do it. He doesn't have that right. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
anybody any questions on that, Stephen?
Great demo again.
Yeah, Stephen, you're getting good at the
Yeah.
demos.
Yeah.
Can you, a quick one, Steven, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so if you want to create a log, like to generate a report log regarding histories of deleted users, can you do that?
To generate the log.
Yeah, of all users that were deleted. Like a
Sorry,
request log for it.
Is it of all users in our account?
Peradventure, more than one users were deleted, and you want to get a request log for all of them that were deleted. Can you do that?
I think you should be able to do that. I've not tried that before, but let me see. Hold on. Okay, let me share my screen. Hold a second. Trying to share my screen. Okay.
Yeah, I see it there now. 1 second. There you go.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think you should be able to create the log of the whole users. Let me see. Nah. Yeah, I think you should be able to create that with I think with the PowerShell scripts. Yeah, I think you can use a PowerShell script to create that to get the whole log of the user. But I'm not. That's something I'll have to check and see. Yeah, but yeah, it's possible with PowerShell script you can create the log. Yeah.
All right, that's good.
Yeah.
The reason I asked actually is because I was faced with this, I think some years back, like mostly
Yeah.
ago or two. So I can't really remember how I got past it. If we were able to get the logs, but I'm so sure it was a PowerShell script. But I just
Yeah.
wanted to
I know.
confirm.
Yeah, I know with the PowerShell script you can do that. You can get log of all the users. Yeah. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Dan, have you any news for us on what's coming up? Are you going to share something?
Yeah, great question. I could try sharing my PowerPoint from last time and see if that shows up any better.
Yeah.
I'd have some interest in just seeing if that works here. Let me find it. There it is. Try this. Last time, I think this is why we had the issues with
Would it be
the
very
resolution. Yeah, was just that.
grainy? Yeah, that looks a lot better now, right?
Yeah, so that's what it was. I shared the entire screen and didn't do the proper testing of the restream that we're using now. So welcome to Tech Ready 37. Do you want me to go through a little bit of this, Frank?
Sure. Sure, yeah. Yeah.
So Tech Ready was a Microsoft internal only event. It went up to 22, and I did the math. It was twice a year. So I think this summer we would have been at Tech Ready 37 if they had continued. And on all of the Tech Ready sessions, there was this confidentiality slide. You'll notice that my slides say Microsoft Confidential Internal only at the bottom because they are actually from that conference, the template, if you will. All of the information that I found in the particular PowerPoints, however, has been publicly disclosed. So these are no longer confidential internal only. I just thought it'd be fun to give you a taste of what a Tech Ready presentation to Microsoft service field looked like in the years that I was there as a full-time employee. So I was there at the beginning of Azure's, what was originally Windows Azure, and the data centers. And data centers, if you're familiar with them, have a efficiency, PUE, power usage effectiveness, that the closer you get to 1 for all the building overhead, whether that's cooling, whether that's investment, power backup, all of the overhead versus the IT load, the servers and the services that you're actually getting out of those, the closer you get to 1, the more efficient your unit or your building or your server farms are. And as part of that experience, Microsoft developed the containers that were used in both Chicago first and then in Dublin, Ireland. I don't recall if my slide links, I didn't check these, so let's see if we've got slide links that still work. It looks like we do. I can toss that out to LinkedIn later. And CH1, the Chicago data center, was built outside of the Chicago downtown suburbs and fairly close to rail and interstates in the United States. Any thoughts from folks that are on the, I guess we're on Restream, on why you would build a data center near railroads and interstates in the United States, or possibly in other countries?
Is it just that it was easier to put the infrastructure next to it?
Exactly, Frank. So when you have interstates and railway in the US, you have right-of-way. So when you think about laying fiber or network connectivity, those give you a path through the states and the country. And a lot of people would come and wonder why, the proximity to those two types of infrastructure, it just makes it easier to make sure that where this is located is very close to a primary east-west in the US and north-south interstate, as well as rail. So when you see those two things, it's a good place to build from a standpoint of the network connectivity, which is super important. I condensed this to just a couple of the facilities in the US. San Antonio, Texas, SN 1 and 2 are similar to the Chicago data center. And Chicago is where they started testing these, what started as IT packs, lower and upper. The upper had the chillers and the air conditioning and the power, and then the bottom would be connected to the top, and servers would be loaded into the bottom of the containers back in 2009. And then later on in Dublin, Ireland, we saw the sister experiment to Chicago. However, Dublin, as I've learned, Frank, doesn't have the extreme temperatures that Chicago has. So instead of having to think about putting these inside to withstand the harsh winters in Chicago or the very, very hot summer days, in Dublin, you can think about these containers outdoors. And those experiments have been kind of a pendulum for Microsoft. Sometimes Microsoft looked at the container and the contained hot air and has moved back and forth from, the traditional raised floor to the container where the servers are all brought in, back to just warehouse flooring and server racks as far as the eye can see. These are football stadium or soccer stadium sized areas within buildings that are much larger than that. So think like an arena or the largest place you can imagine. And just as far as the eye can see, servers, networking, disk, everything you'd expect. And Dublin has gone through all sorts of changes. I have never toured the Dublin Center. Chicago is the only data center that I have walked through from Microsoft's perspective. But Chicago, I was at the beginning. I was at there as the containers came, and then I was there as a tour guide in 2016. Next, Microsoft went on to do underwater data centers. So this pendulum, flipped from let's put everything into a solid container and we can set those containers outside to let's just build big warehouses and put the servers in those gigantic warehouses. And then it flipped back again with Project Natick to what if we could control the environmentals, not just put servers into a container and shut the door, but what if we could think about, is oxygen and oxidation part of the failure that we're seeing with servers? What about if we put the servers in a container and put it underwater? So that's exactly what Microsoft did with Project Natick. Off the coast of Scotland, we were here 2 years ago in the Orkney Islands. Microsoft submerged a container with servers. This being a research project, you can see that it was definitely Microsoft branded, but think to the data centers in Dublin, Chicago, San Antonio, Texas, all around the world. Microsoft typically doesn't put the logos and say, this is where the Microsoft servers are. But they submerged this experiment through Microsoft Research. And the cabling was attached from a standpoint of both network as well as power to those servers. And so, Frank, I think these were the slides that were completely unreadable the first time that we presented this with Prathap. But as you look towards the future of Microsoft's data center innovation, the first tests of underwater data centers were in the ocean, but water cooling or alternative energy are some of the future, where when you can think of, what is next for Microsoft. And here is a design of the different generations. So we went from generation 3, where we had these stacked IT packs, to generation 4, where you put them outside, to generation 5, where the pendulum swings back to let's just do really big prefabricated buildings to harness the elements, control the elements outside and secure the perimeter. If you look at a generation 5 data center from the sky with any type of photography, it's hard to, unless you're doing surveillance night and day 24/7, to get a sense for, is that being built at full capacity, half capacity? If the server racks are brought in and I can see the server racks, it would be much easier to get a sense for, from a security perspective, how full or how much of a draw maybe a particular location was using. So we can see up to generation V next. And then the servers themselves, and I'll stop at this point after we go through the servers, started with pretty balanced servers where we had 32 gig of memory. We had two processors and 6 cores each. And we had hard disk and fairly traditional networking. I saw a lot of Ethernet when the Chicago data center was built in 2009. As you moved on, fiber from a network perspective, SSDs, solid state drives, accompanied maybe with regular spinning disk, much more memory and much more powerful processors with more cores. Generation 4, you saw some of the designs moving to very thin blade servers, sometimes half width from a rack mount perspective. And again, more disk, faster networking, more memory, more processors. Then as Microsoft moved up, tons of RAM, disk going just to solid state, and really fast networking. And as the generations continue, Microsoft moved to servers that are just gigantic, almost like a mainframe from a performance perspective. The Beast was 4 terabytes of RAM, and then SSD and 40 gig networking. And then the Beast V2 was 3 times as powerful as the Beast. Microsoft also had Azure Sphere that sits from a standpoint of its load or its workload at 0.00000000533 of a Beast. So very, very small as that pendulum switches from IoT and some of the use cases we have today with Internet of Things. And so, Frank, it looks like we have slides that can be read as long as the presenter either, I'm thinking if we upload the slides to Restream, that might be another way if you're just presenting slides. But if I also wanted to show like, something in the portal or something in my browser, I think as long as your computer's resolution of the monitor that you're sharing is dropped down either to 1280 by 768. I did some reading and I didn't get a completely straight answer, but it looked like even at 1920 by 1080, it might be readable. So I'll pop up to that resolution and we'll see if we can still read the slides here.
Yeah.
Do those still look
pretty
good?
Yeah, I think it's a little
It's kind of grainy,
Okay, it gets a little grainy.
Yeah.
So I think that's our answer, is that the display resolution should ideally be a little bit lower to make things crisp and clear. Oops, and I just reverted. You get the idea. We probably need to put that in our show notes or our presenter guides to let people know that ideally drop to 720p widescreen resolution, and then your slides should show up beautifully in both Restream and on LinkedIn and other platforms.
So I'd say when you're showing all those servers there, then I'd say with AI now being put into servers, Dell done a project there with NVIDIA.
Yeah.
And they shipped 15,000 servers this year with AI built into them.
Yeah.
And
A
yeah,
lot of
they're
the work that HP, Dell, the industry is doing with NVIDIA and Intel and everybody else. I'm sure that's probably the next generation, right, Frank?
yeah. So we have the likes of VMware now being taken over by Broadcom, and they're going to be putting their chips into servers that VMware are going to be running.
Cool.
So yeah, exciting times
It
ahead
is, yeah.
for AI.
Definitely.
Yeah. So you won't be with us next week, Dan. So we'll hold the fort.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So we'll probably have Seena doing something first. Stephen, will you have something, or
Yeah,
you might do
yeah. I think
you might do the PowerShell script for what Timideo was talking about.
yeah. So I would try and get. And I know there's partial scriptures. I would get. I'll check for it and then. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So maybe probably
So
I'm looking at probably maybe next month or thereabouts. I'm preparing for the AZ 104. So maybe after that, so I might probably start
okay.
a series on an Intune. Yeah. Maybe I start on endpoint managers, just start some series. I guess one or two things. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to take the exam in the next month.
Yeah, no. I'm taking the exam of AZ 104 by next week. Yeah, I should take. I think by next week. I think I have the exam by next week. So once I finish,
Yeah.
so maybe I can do a series on endpoint manager, right? Just during the show. Yeah, so I'll be able to have time to prepare for that.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you try the Microsoft Learn
The
testing the questions? The practice questions.
I haven't seen it. I haven't checked for it. So
Did
I'm
you?
just busy
They
going
have
through. I'm just busy with it with the Microsoft Lens. So that's
Yeah, Microsoft Learn has the practice questions. It's like a real live exam,
okay.
and they give you the multiple choice questions, and you do it like a
Okay.
real exam.
I think that's it.
Opeyemi, I
Should have
put the link to my PowerPoint. I updated this with the, I think it's got the live link to all of the practice questions for all the exams, not just AZ 104.
Okay, and are these new questions then, or?
These are Microsoft Learn's resource, so I can share my screen again. I just thought of this. So the view raw, I think you can do just to show it in the browser.
Mm-hmm.
Can't show the files that are that big. Well, you can. It looks like it's smart enough to take me over to Office Apps because
Yeah,
it's a
I'm
PowerPoint
gonna try
file.
opening it now. It's not going. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's see if it'll open or not. If it won't, I can just download it. Let's do that. Download the file. And then from the download, I should be able to open it. It's thinking about it. There, I've downloaded it twice. So what I put in here was a bunch of links that are probably hard to read even at this
Okay.
resolution. But different stories that I tell in classes, different resources, and then I think it was wherever I had the resource for the exams, I updated that link. Let's see if it's on this page. Yeah, I put in the practice assessments for some of the 900s, but then this is all the certifications.
Okay.
So this should take you to the page on Microsoft's site. Shouldn't it? Skip verification. That's not supposed to open my local computer. That's interesting. Let's see.
Do
If
you want to
I
just
paste
copy the link and just put it in the browser and see?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to try, just to see if
Yeah.
it's my computer. It is my computer.
Yeah.
So the availability, this is the entire list. There's like 33
Wow.
exam questions now. So you can go through these from Learn. I don't know if you have to log in to Learn. Maybe you do at this point.
You do, yeah.
Okay. Tracks that you've done it.
Cool.
This account apparently isn't set up, so we'll tell it quickly where I'm at. And then, yeah, they've got questions. And then I believe as you scroll down, you get the questions, and then you have the ability to check your answer.
Check the answers, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Measure Up or other vendors do something very similar, but this is an opportunity just to take a look and figure out what 2 resources would you provision for a password to be stored securely. So check that out as you prepare.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's actually a good one. Yeah, I've used that then in the past.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
It's only out a few months, but it's a very good help.
Yeah.
You actually kind of see what the real exam environment looks like.
Yeah. Yeah.
You never took a Microsoft exam before.
Yeah.
So listen, guys, we're just gone over the hour, so I'll end the live broadcast. And thank you, everybody, for joining the Azure and AI show again this Friday. We'll be back next Friday with some more on some Microsoft stuff, and we're here every Friday. So thank you.
Thank you, everyone.